Live letter was so packed. Can't wait for the second part. All the stuff we were shown is going to save the game for the next few years. I think okay, Pachama, thank you, because you just brought up a great topic of conversation. What has been different than any other development cycle for Final Fantasy XIV since the game came out, that all of a sudden everybody thinks that the game is dead in the middle of a content lull? Like, what's different? The whole internet is up in arms that Final Fantasy's dying. There's nothing to do. It's a crumbling MMO and it can't stand on its own. Why? The development cycle is the exact same thing that we've had for years. They do this. We have content lulls, but people are like, dead game. 14's a dead game. The internet's losing their fucking minds over it. There's people writing articles about how Final Fantasy is a dead game. What has changed? Please tell me. Tell me that somewhere in the last 5 years that I've been a streamer, that anything has changed. Where's it at? Where is it? As far as I can recall, the only thing that has ever been adjusted development cycle-wise was whenever COVID hit, and they had to just kind of irk things back by like 2 weeks or something like that. And again, that was another point in time that people lost their fucking minds that this game was dying. It's the same development cycle that it's been since the game fucking came out. Nothing that's going to happen in this patch is going to save the game from anything, because it doesn't need to be saved from anything. Right? I'm not mad at you, Hachama. It's not you. You've just been lately the latest to make a comment like that just boggles my mind as to why people think that 14 is dying. It's the same. It's been the same. It's been the same. So because the player base has gone down to the floor of what the player base is, everybody thinks the game is dying. Even though we come down to the floor of how many people are actively playing the game every single X-Pack. Every X-Pack. It happens. All new players came in during 2019-2020. Number was around during the patch, dead times. Dawn Trail is their first expansion. That's probably it. It's got to be it. Right? All the WoW Fugees, but even the WoW Fugees, they were there for Shadowbringers into Endwalker, Endwalker into Dawn Trail, right? So I guess it would be anybody who came in. It had to have been anybody who came in basically once Dawn Trail dropped. Had to have been. We get all the extra stuff casual players enjoy on the .2s. There may have been a .1 back in the day, but generally it's the .2 area for any of the expansions. This is how it goes. Like, this is it. This is it. Dead batch times. The thing about WoW, though, this is what I'll give them about WoW. WoW's got a whole lot of other stuff to do. There's a lot of other stuff to do in 14, don't get me wrong. But, like, WoW's got so much shit to do in that game that even during the downtimes, there's still something you can do. The same applies to this, right? You can go back to older content, and guess what? Older content isn't dead. You could go to Bozja, you could go to Eureka. They're still alive. You can go to the Diadem. You can go to Diadem anytime you want to. Now, granted, not as many people go in the Diadem these days, but it's still there. It's still alive content that you can do, right? So, like, this whole mindset that Final Fantasy XIV is dead because we're in a content lull is just the absurdity of it all. And then, like, that's it. It's not dead. It's not going anywhere. You've got Final Fantasy is a longer-lived franchise. Final Fantasy is a longer-lived franchise. Listen to me. Longer-lived franchise than nearly anything else that you play in your game library. Okay? This series has been around for a long time. Final Fantasy XI, the first Final Fantasy MMO that came out before WoW, by the way, and I think is a superior MMO, has been in existence and active for a very, very long time. It's going nowhere. It's not going anywhere. It's going to be here forever. This game's not dead. Like, it's not dead. Now, because some of those people out there only do raid content, where's my raids at? I only fight my fights. Oh, wait. I get it. I totally understand, because the fights are something that bring me back into the game and keep things interesting. I understand. But to take it that next step and say the game's dead because I don't have any new combat content, like, get the fuck out of here with that. What, so you can cheat through it anyway? Come on, get out of here. Get out. Fucking Game Genie players. Go. You can actually, you can go. It is dead. It's dead. Parsers, you hear me? If Final Fantasy's over, you might as well just go someplace else. Just go someplace else. Go cheat somewhere else. Get your Game Genie. Take your Game Genie for your gold parses or pink parses, whatever the fuck you're doing. Take that Game Genie out and go play a different game. It is dead. Not at the COVID level of player count. Nobody's ever going to get back to COVID level of player counts, because COVID level of player counts were pumped up because so many people were home. You know, that is an unrealistic expectation, is to say we need our MMOs to be at a player count that COVID had, because that makes perfect sense in my mind. Because and honestly, it's because some of these Reddit forum mouth breathers that are yelling to the high heavens that the game is dead, and they're looking for the COVID numbers, don't realize that it was a fucking pandemic and people were in their houses, so they were able to log in and play the game a lot more, right? Like, there's a huge thing that happened, and it was a world event that people were home playing, and you cannot attribute that fluke of player base to be the norm. You just can't do it. That would be like me as a streamer looking at my metrics and saying, man, I really need to get back to my COVID level metrics as a streamer. That's unrealistic. It's unrealistic for me to expect that by just sitting here streaming, where I was able to just sit there and stream, and I had levels on my stream of a particular level. But for me to expect that to happen without doing anything extra is insanity, absurdity. There's no reason I should expect that. There was a fluke in the numbers because of a situation that was happening worldwide, right? So yeah, get smart. It's just understand that there were things happening. I don't get it, man. What a Trash 14 call it dead because they don't have any harder content than Ultimates. Use Splatoon for other content. Splatoon. They've all rushed through Eureka, Boja, other content, just play it for the fights, but forget that there's a whole social side to it. Yeah, yep. But honestly, a lot of those people at Chama, they don't need to be in our social circles. They don't need to be. They don't need to be. I don't need to hear about their Game Genie parses. I don't. Tell me again how you mod your game and you're good at it. Tell me about that again. I was good at The Sims whenever I was a kid, too. I always had lots of money because Rosebud. Thousands of fates, thousands of hunts. There's a lot of side quests and other stuff. Exactly. Exactly. So yeah, game's not dead. Game's not dead. Nowhere close. It's not going anywhere. But excited about the new content that is coming in March. Very excited about it. There's going to be a lot of good stuff going on, you know? A lot of good stuff.